Hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss about the blood. What are the different cells which are coming into the blood? What are the different areas of a blood? What is the mechanism of coagulation behind this blood? That part we are going to discuss in this blood chapter. So these are the contents which are going to discuss in this blood chapter. That is a definition of a blood. What is hematology? The functions and the physical properties of a blood plasma and the formed elements, hemopoiesis, red blood cells and erythropoiesis, what is anemia, white blood cells and the platelets, mechanism of homeostasis, different pathways of a blood clotting, blood groups, disorders of a blood. Only the definitions of the disordered bloods we are going to discuss. So what is blood fluid? In an average, adult is having the body fluids constitute of 55% and 60% of a total body mass in a female and a male respectively. So intracellular fluid, about 2/3 of the body fluid is ICF or a cytosol, the fluid within the cell. The extracellular fluid, about 1/3 of a body fluid is extracellular fluid, is outside cells and includes all other body fluids. ECF is divided into the interstitial fluid and the plasma. About 80% of ECF is interstitial fluid, which occupies the microscopic spaces between the tissue cells. So what is blood? The actual definition of blood, it is a liquid connective tissue composed of extracellular matrix called as a blood plasma that dissolves and suspends various cells and the fragments. So different kinds of cells that we are going to discuss in next slides. Hematology, the branch of a science that deals with the study of a blood forming tissues and the blood disorders. So this is nothing but the hematology. So hematology is made up of two different words, that is heme and the logy. So what are the functions of this blood? So obviously in transport, as a transport medium which transports the oxygen, nutrients and the waste material, hormones to their target glands, protective antibodies to the site of infection, then the protection against the infection. Then the regulation of a pH, maintenance of a body temperature and the clot formation. This clot formation is a very important point in this chapter of blood. So we are going to discuss the mechanism of coagulation later. What are the different physical properties behind this blood? So it is a denser and the viscous than the water, and it is a sticky one. So the temperature is about 38 degrees Celsius of a blood. Blood is a slightly alkaline, so hence the pH of it is 7.35 to 7.45. The color of a blood varies with its oxygen content. When it has a high oxygen content, it is a bright red color. When it is a low oxygen content, it is a dark red color. The blood volume is 5 to 6 liters in an average adult male and 4 to 5 liters in an average adult female. So these are the average rates or the average volumes of blood in adults. The components of a blood, obviously this is made up of two different components, that is the blood plasma and the formed elements. The blood plasma, it is a watery liquid extracellular matrix contains dissolved substances. Although the formed elements are having cells and the cell fragments. So the blood is composed of plasma and the different cellular part. So you can see from this slide 55% of the plasma and the formed elements are 45%. So in the plasma 91% of water while the proteins are about 7%. However, other solutes are 2%. So in case of albumins which are about 7%, different albumins which are present, that is albumins, globulins and the fibrinogen. While in other solutes it is about 2% having ions, nutrients, waste products, gases, regulatory substances. These are all coming into the other solutes. However, the formed elements which is having 45% which consist of platelets around 250 to 400,000 while white blood cells around 5 to 9,000 and red blood cells about 4.2 to 6.2 millions. So this is the average range of different kinds of cells which are present in formed elements. So in case of white blood cells, there are the different types of white blood cells. For examples, neutrophils, lymphocytes, monocytes, eosinophils, and the basophils. So this is the cellular elements. Then the blood plasma. When the formed elements are removed from blood, straw-colored liquid is called as a blood plasma. It is a pale yellow color. It consists of 91% water, 7% of proteins, 1.5% other solutes. Obviously, as we discussed in the last slides, the proteins which are present in case of a blood plasma, that is albumin, globulins, fibrinogen. These proteins are having different kinds of functions. For albumin, it is responsible for maintaining the osmotic pressure of a blood, while the globulins are responsible for the immune system. Although the fibrinogen is responsible for the formation of blood clots. Other regulatory substances are electrolytes, nutrients, enzymes, hormones, gases, and the waste products. For example, the waste products like urea, uric acid, creatinine, ammonia, and the bilirubin. This is all about the blood plasma. So just remember the actual quantity or the average rate of each element present in plasma, water, proteins, and other elements. So the components of a whole blood, as I told you, that is plasma 55% and other elements are 45%. So this is the general flow to isolate the plasma and the different cells. So the formed elements, for example, you can see on the slide, it is RBCs, WBCs, and the platelets. RBCs are also called as erythrocytes. WBCs are also called as leukocytes, and the platelets are also called as thrombocytes. So WBCs are having different kinds of cells, different types like granulocytes and agranulocytes. In granulocyte, there are the neutrophils, eosinophils, and the basophils. Then the agranulocytes are having lymphocytes and the monocytes. As you can see into the picture how the cells are look. Hemopoiesis. So it is the process for formation of blood cells, which is also called as hematopoiesis. So both are the same names, hemopoiesis and hematopoiesis. So the red bone marrow is the primary site of a hemopoiesis. It is a highly vascularized connective tissue located in the bone, present mainly in bones of axial skeleton, pectoral, pelvic girdles, and the humerus and the femur. So the hemopoiesis, it is a process of formation of blood cells. As you all know, this is the red bone marrow. You can see where this red bone marrow is present into the bone. So in brief, this is a hemopoiesis, formation of a blood, how does it forms, and all these all are into this flow chart. So the RBCs are biconcave disc shaped. The male is having 5.4 millions per mm³ of blood, while the female are having 4.8 million per mm³ of blood. This is the average range of RBCs. RBCs having no nuclei, functional for about 120 days, or it survive about 120 days. Production occurs in the red bone marrow, as I told you in the last slide, by the process known as erythropoiesis, also by the control by the erythropoietin. It contains the hemoglobin around 280 million per RBC. The function of RBCs are transport of oxygen from lungs to tissues and carbon dioxide from tissues to lung. This is the actual function of RBC. So hemoglobin is consist of 4 globulin molecules, which is a colorless protein about 96%, 4 heme molecules 4%, which transport the oxygen. Iron is required for the oxygen transport. Normal values of this hemoglobin is female 12 to 16 gram per 100 ml of blood, male is about 14 to 18 gram per 100 ml of blood, and 14 to 20 gram per 100 ml of blood. So this is the main content of hemoglobin. So hemoglobin, lower hemoglobin values may be due to the anemia, bleeding, destruction of RBCs, leukemia, malnutrition, nutritional deficiencies of iron, folate, vitamin B12 and vitamin B6, or maybe by the overhydration. However, higher hemoglobin values may be due to congenital heart disease, dehydration, erythrocytosis, which is nothing but the increase in RBCs, low blood oxygen level, which is also known as hypoxia, pulmonary fibrosis, polycythemia, then the formation and destruction of RBC. So this is very critical flow of this formation and the destruction of these RBCs. You can understand from this diagram one by one by the numbering I have kept over here how it is formed and how it is destructed from the body, these RBCs. So you can see by the numbers almost 14 steps are there from the formation till to the removal of these RBCs. So thank you very much.